So straight off the bat, if you're thinking about visiting Warehouse Project, but you can't be asked for the journey there and back, booking a hotel, all that jazz, seriously, just stop, have a word with yourself and get it booked. Because if you're into raving and you haven't been, what are you doing? Like, it is definitely something that you need to experience. The venue is massive. It has a 10k capacity and there are 3 different rooms open usually. Although the last time we went, there was another 3 on top of this, so there were 6 in total. But sadly, I think this might have just been a one-off. I'll show you a little bit more about those in a minute. The depot is the room that you can see here. This is the biggest, and it is the one that you'll see in all of the videos all over TikTok and what Warehouse Project has become kind of like known for. As you can see, it is huge and it honestly does just have the most electric atmosphere. I haven't come across anywhere like this before, to be honest. Drum Sheds is similar, but I think personally lacks that charm and energy that you get in the depot. The lights in here are absolutely amazing and they are stacked corner to corner, so you constantly feel fully immersed no matter where you stand. It does get crazy packed in there, especially at the front and in the middle, but you will always be able to find a little bit more room towards the back. Although if there is a major headliner on, then it does get difficult to get in there, which is crazy because look how big this room is and how many people it fits. Yet it will still get packed to the point that you can't even get room on the dance floor. Although all of the rooms are literally amazing in their own right, so if that does happen, definitely go and check the rest of them out and I can guarantee that you will not be disappointed. Next up, we've got the concourse. As you can see, even this room by itself is a really decent size. It does just feel smaller when you compare it to the depot, but I honestly love this room. The lights in here are always on point. Like, big up the sound light engineer each and every time, because like this man knows what he is doing. Seriously, it's actually sick in there. It also has that same very like immersive feel. It's the kind of room that you dance in and the hours literally just fly by. There's also a raised bit up to the right of the stage which you can stand on when the dance floor gets really packed, and it's quite cool up there. With regards to the sound system, I've been to Warehouse Project twice, and the first time we went I was seriously impressed with it. Like, genuinely thought it was one of the best I'd ever heard. It was sharp, had a really decent amount of bass, it was proper loud, like it was brilliant. And then the second time it was awful, quiet, distorted. The speakers kept like screeching in your ears and yeah, it was just horrible. You'll probably be aware it does get a lot of mixed reviews, but I still wouldn't let it stop you from trying the venue nonetheless, because overall it still is really good. This is the archives. I do not know why people sleep on this room, but I absolutely love it in here. It's a really decent size and you can always find a good amount of space. There's a bar right next door and 2 sets of toilets either side, and it definitely doesn't feel as hot and sweaty as the other rooms. Like, it's a lot more open in here, feels a lot more cooler, so yeah, it's really decent. I also like the fact that all of the rooms are like fully self-sufficient. They have their own toilets and their own bar, so you don't need to go trekking around when you need to go and do something. There's also a self-service bar too at the back of the archives, where the queue is a lot smaller, and for larger events I've noticed that they have stands selling like cocktails, mojitos, which I thought was really cool. The cocktails were £12, double spirit and mixer was £11, £6 for a beer and £3 for a can of water. Don't quote me, I think a bottle of wine was about £28 from what I can remember. They don't sell bottles of water like a lot of venues, but they do have a water refill station, and they allow you to bring an empty bottle in with you. With regards to toilets, they are portaloos, they are mostly unmanned and never usually have loo roll, soap, hand sanitizer, or actually even light for that matter, so just do make sure you go prepared. Obviously it's not brilliant, but with so many venues using portaloos these days, unfortunately it is just becoming the norm. I just wanted to put a few clips in here of the lights in the concourse just to show you how sick they actually are. I've come out of here so many times with my mind absolutely blown at the light show that I've just witnessed. Like, it is genuinely amazing in there, it's really impressive. Also, just side note, there's another set of toilets just to the behind the viewing platform that's in the concourse, and these are often a lot more quieter, so bear that in mind if the queues for the other ones get really bad. Lockers, they are available. It's £5 for a small, £10 for a large, and there's a £10 deposit on top of that regardless of the size of locker that you get. This does get automatically returned back to your card when you've handed your key in at the end, and it usually takes about 2 working days to go back into your account. I would strongly recommend getting a locker, because having some warm jumpers, coat and stuff to like come out to after is so worth it. Trust me when I tell you that Northern Chill is not playing, and I never understand why you see so many people like freezing outside when you can easily even like go halves with a friend on a locker and have a few of you bung some stuff in there. Like, it's just crazy, I don't get it. But anyway, yeah, they do state that you aren't allowed bags bigger than an A4. Last time I did take a handbag which was about that size and they wouldn't let me in with it, so do just bear that in mind. Also, the venue itself can get very chilly, so yeah, it's hot and it's sweaty in the crowd, but it gets really cold when you're changing rooms, so I'd recommend keeping a jumper with you for when you're walking about inside. Food wise, they do usually have 1 or 2 food vendors in the smoking area, although last time there was a lot more because they'd opened extra rooms and increased the capacity. And And I think in total they had about 8 different vendors. There was like people selling cocktails as well, and yeah, which I thought was really cool. Another thing to note is that last entry time differs from event to event. It can be quite early, so definitely watch out for that. It's the same with the lineup. It is very varied. Sometimes it can be drum and bass, other times hard techno. They also play house, garage, dubstep. It really just depends on the night. So I would advise looking at the lineup to make sure that it's your type of music. And now I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Warehouse Project is perfect. Yes, there are definitely some things at the venue that could do with improvement, but for the sheer size and capacity of a place like this, I do not think they do a bad job at all at putting on some really unforgettable and iconic nights. And overall, I'd say it's definitely a place worth visiting. Each room is so huge and has such good production. It is literally like having 3 clubs, different clubs rolled into one venue. Any night here is always like a proper adventure. And as with any experience, especially raving, it can be subjective. So the things that matter to me in a club may not be the same things that matter to you. And I've tried to do my best here to tell you about Warehouse Project in the most objective and neutral way possible. But one thing I am going to double down on is the fact that if you are thinking of going, seriously, just get it done, get booked. Even if you never go again, I think it is something that everyone should definitely experience at least once, because it is such a unique and special venue. Lastly as well, just want to show you the extra rooms that they had open. You'll see it in a sec. It was called the plant room, and it also had a second smoking area. Honestly, it was so cool out here. The whole thing was heated, and even the individual little wooden benches, they had their own heaters above them. There was toilets out there, it had a bar. There was even a USB port on each table to charge your phone. Like, imagine your phone dying in a rave and just pop into the smoking area to put it on charge for a bit. Honestly, London could fucking never. It was absolutely so cool out here. It's proper vibe. There was loads of seating in this little bit as well, and it was a really good spot to chill out. As I said, sadly this isn't always here, but I do think they should definitely make this permanent. A lot of people actually couldn't find it and didn't know it was there. You'll see in a second when we go in. It was just through a little side door on the left of the concourse, so do bear that in mind. But yeah, I absolutely loved it out here. I thought it was a really brilliant touch to the venue. You'll see it in a sec, full, and it was so busy out here. I think this is while Chimpo was on, and it was just before Dub Physics and Strategy, which is why it was so busy. But yeah, it was an absolute vibe. It was really nice and cool out there, and you could easily just nip to the smoking area for a quick ciggy and still listen to the sets because it was right next door. And it looked really cool at night time as well. You'll see it in a sec. It was an absolute plot out there. Look how pretty that looks. I honestly could have wasted hours just sitting out here. It was such a jam. I absolutely loved it. I did get a very quick clip of the street party. I'm sorry it is only quick, but it was brilliant out here as well. Again, not open every time, but I definitely think it should be. But yeah, overall, what a truly amazing venue. If you do get the opportunity to go up here, seriously, just do it, because it is a brilliant night out and you're not going to get places like this everywhere. So yeah, go check it out. As always, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments.